Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log. Subdates 22.110.4.2. Over the weekend I plan to annihilate a number of video topics, a bottle of Maker's Mark, and play some Assassin's Creed and possibly some much needed Moistmas shopping. Should I just give everyone false teeth? I'm gonna knock them out anyway. Hello everyone, welcome to This Week at Twitter! Or twat. Twitter has been quite the cancerous landscape of late. Of course it has been for quite a number of years, especially because Twitter has been open in its, bias towards certain political leanings, which in turn led to alternative platforms, which in turn led to them losing their ability to make money, or receive money. But in one fell swoop, things have changed. No real discernible change just yet, but enough of a change that has caused, a spurgeoning of sorts. Because people aren't impressed at who the new owner is. In virtually every single country that has a Twitter trending tab for their respective nationality, Musk was trending, along with other things like MySpace. The reason why is because many people who are not happy Elon Musk now owns Twitter are seeking to announce their departure and flee to greener pastures. Back in 2006 I had a MySpace. My housemates then convinced me to get a Facecuck as well. I thought MySpace back then was great because I could listen to music because bands actually played live shows through that. It was a great idea, I loved it. And you could customize your homepage. Hell, I met some people through it. However, MySpace could not keep up with Twitter and Facebook. They blew up and MySpace was sold. Tom sold MySpace for hundreds of millions. And in doing so, he didn't bother creating another platform. He traveled the world and became a full-time photographer that barely uses social media. For those that don't know, if you had MySpace, you had at least one guaranteed friend called Tom. Tom was the creator and owner of MySpace. How cool is that? A guaranteed friend so you weren't alone. Not that he liked anything you did, but it was still a very novel idea that did quite well. And yes, he made a stupid amount of money. Congratulations to him, of course. Many people, though, are raging because Musk has got Twitter. They think that they are on the chopping board. Well, there are many aspects that are. For example, verification. Elon Musk has this idea. Instead of having a certain number of followers and having all these boxes filled to meet a certain criteria that I can never seem to reach, instead, you go through Twitter Blue and you can be verified as a user then and therefore not a bot account because you're paying a subscription fee to Twitter to get a check mark. Understandably, there are a number of people who are not impressed with this. They're not impressed with this because they don't want to part with their hard-earned cash, grifting online or grifting somewhere else. Congress is a great place for grifters, I hear. My view on it is actually quite simple. I couldn't care less. I don't have Twitter Blue, why do I care? I don't have any parody accounts, I'm not really controversial enough. But the idea of being verified, well, you've got my attention. I just don't have the disposable income. Gives money on Patreon, please, so I can get Twitter Blue. And more whiskey. One of the funnier names who have interacted with Elon Musk on Twitter when he had announced he was going to introduce verification through Twitter Blue, which meant everyone with a check mark, they might lose it unless they have Twitter Blue, was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman for New York. Very divisive individual. I don't care about her Green New Deal or whatever it's called, New Green Deal. I'm English, I don't care. On Twitter, AOC said, Lamau at a billionaire earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually a $8 a month subscription plan. Others firmly believing that perhaps he should have focused his money instead on world hunger, unemployment, climate change, and other things because 44 billion could really do a lot there. Which it can, you're right. Elon Musk though responded to AOC with, your feedback is appreciated, now pay $8. One of the greatest of all time basketball players, LeBron James, had retweeted Philip Lewis, who had said, Elon Musk's Twitter takeover sparked a surge in the use of the N-word on the social media platform by nearly 500%. LeBron had retweeted this with, I don't know Elon Musk, and to be honest, I could care less who owns Twitter. But I will say that if it is true, I hope he and his people take this very seriously because this is scary AF. So many damn unfit people saying hate speech is free speech. I think I'd rather say, because I'm a lot fitter than these unfit people, it is I couldn't care less who owns Twitter. If you could care less, it says you're invested in this. Learn to English, or at least consider some contribularity with your salt and cope. I am not, for the sake of this video, going to justify those that use certain words that perhaps no one should be using or everyone should be using. I couldn't care less. See, used correctly there, LeBron, because I'm not as invested in words, beyond me being a dick to everyone. Another rather chuckle-worthy response I noticed via Discordia, who had retweeted Ashton Pittman. Not gonna lie, the dwindling follower count sucks. I've worked hard to build a following here to bring national eyes to Mississippi journalism and issues. I fear this site will go the way of MySpace and I'll have to start from scratch, all because a billionaire boy was bored. Oh, I like the alliteration. Discordia had replied, Musk buys Twitter, journos most affected. Apparently they are the biggest victims in all of this. How else are they going to get their message out there? I mean, their grift. I mean, message. Of course, just message. There's nothing untoward here. What are we talking about? I had noticed, although I hadn't actually archived any in time, that Count Dankula, he had changed his Twitter handle to the President of the United States, which, amusingly to me, led to many people getting very cross at him. It's just a shame, really, that I didn't manage to archive all of them when I had the chance. Sorry. But I will say, those that wish death on him for having a platform because they thought he was Trump, you are special. That is what Elon Musk did the day he took over on Twitter. He was also asked by Michaela Pettersson, can you bring back my dad Jordan Peterson back on here, but also somehow make sure he doesn't spend all his time on Twitter? Elon replied, anyone suspended for minor and dubious reasons will be freed from Twitter jail. And as far as I'm aware, Peterson is actually back on Twitter. Elon Musk pointed out on the 4th, so today, Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation and we did everything we could to appease the activists. Extremely messed up. They're trying to destroy free speech in America. How is this a surprise to anyone? We've seen what they did to other platforms with their revenue resources and sources of revenue. We saw them do it for years with Parler, Minds, Gab. Are there others? There are plenty of others. But they went after their ability to make money on purpose because by taking that away, well, they hamstrung them. Remember, these people do not negotiate with terrorists. Rather amusingly, this image was doing its rounds. There were articles talking about Twitter data engineers being laid off, called Raoul Ligma and Daniel Johnson, to which Elon Musk tweeted, Ligma Johnson had it coming. As far as I was aware, I didn't think these two were real people. They were actually pranksters. But also, Ligma, I believe, was a fake disease created to imply Ninja was dead, the Fortnite streamer, and Johnson being another word for cock. So when somebody underneath this tweets, what sort of disgusting employer publicly announces the firing of his employees, I have to chuckle because I don't know if this is legitimate or not. Some people did lose their jobs. And of course, we here do not support anyone losing their jobs for anything really, unless what they did was intentionally make it so other people did not enjoy their times on social media platforms even though they didn't violate TOS but were intentionally buried and or yeeted, cause arbitrary excuse here, which had been going on for years. So can anyone tell me it was actually a surprise that some of these people might actually not Ligma Johnson, no, the others, the real ones? Is it a surprise that people lost their jobs and nobody cares about it in reality, or the fact that Elon Musk quite publicly said he was going to fire people and people are salty about it? How gauche.